Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Peak Season Podcast. Appreciate you joining us today. How's it going, Tyler?
Doing great, Luke. Thanks for asking. We have a little bit of an update for you for one of Luke's clients on 30A down in Florida. So wanted to share a little bit of another win for Luke on this property, which he's already improved it significantly with very minimal taking over the property. He's not full on co-hosting, right? But
Right.
so we're going to just spend some time talking about what he's done previously and what he's most recently been able to produce for the property moving forward. So just a quick background on this, Luke. So tell us a little bit about, when you took over or, when you started, because this is somebody that you know, right?
Right.
Where were they at with their revenue, and what did you really do for them, and then where did you take it last year?
Sure. So this is someone I met basically through my daughters. Our kids are friends, go to the same school, live in the same neighborhood. And we were like sitting at cheerleading practice one night, just talking about short-term rentals. And this was several years ago now. And just sort of started peeling back layers of what I'm doing, what she's doing, building rapport. I was not looking to help anybody else at the time. And I had just started working with a professional revenue manager. And I had always liked doing price labs, but I thought maybe there's something to, at the very least, I'll learn how they operate. Right. And Tyler, you work with the same guy. He's great. Yeah. But they do a really good job. But, like at the end of the day, if you own the property and you have a passion for the numbers, you can kind of do a better job, right? Because they're managing hundreds or thousands of listings, and they have VAs doing a lot of the day-to-day and things like that. So I had turned this, but her name's Donna. I turned Donna on to this guy and said, hey, you should let him manage your revenue because you seem to be really stressed out about it. And it's nice just to offload that. It's worth a couple $100s a month. So she did, and we were both using him for a while. And then slowly, I think she started to kind of doubt what he was doing. And she was still texting me for all this stuff. And finally she was just like, hey, why don't you take it over? And I was like, oh, okay. Because I had already taken mine back over because I enjoyed it. And she saw the results I was getting. And so she's like, okay, why don't you take it over? And I was like, wait, I can manage somebody else's revenue? I was like, I guess why not, right? So I took over her revenue and started consulting with her more formally. And we improved some of the parts. She's got a luxury property on 38. It's a beautiful property. Just an awesome place. I've actually never been there yet, but like I really want to go.
Yeah, the pictures.
But it just looks amazing.
Yeah.
What's that?
The pictures are phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to check it out, you can check out the case study. It's at upstreamvacations.com/30A, 30A. But you can see some pictures of the property and the whole case study right there. But when I first started consulting with her, and she just basically started paying me what she was paying the other revenue manager, I kind of felt like it was my obligation to tell her a lot of ways where she could improve the property itself, check more boxes on Airbnb, optimize our listing. And whenever I talk to anybody about revenue management now, the first thing we do is we go through their listing. And anybody that wants to run your revenue without first making sure that your listing is great is not worth their salt. Right. So just basic listing optimization, and then looking at her amenities and things like that in her property that we could improve. So for instance, we improved her coffee station. It's a larger property. So when 12 people are staying there, they don't want like a small coffee maker. They need like a nice coffee station, right? Especially when you're asking people to pay $1,000 a night in peak season. Like they should have a nice coffee station. We added a dedicated workspace. We added a little propane fire table to try and increase some bookings in the shoulder seasons. Just little things like that to compete. All in all, not a huge change to the property, but we checked some more boxes and we became competitive in areas that we weren't before. So that first year we took her from, she was actually going back a little bit further. She was actually working with another co-host and a property manager, and then she took it over herself. And then the pricing was really getting, she was really having a hard time with the pricing. Right. So that is around the time I came in. So the year before I took over, which would have been 2024, she did 63,000.
No.
And my first full year on, we took her all the way up to, I don't want to quote it exactly.
Almost
We took her from
114.
62.6 to 113.8.
Yeah.
And most of that was by increasing our shoulder season bookings. So my theory of revenue management is you get, well, the getting's good when you want to be pricing sensitive during the peak times. If the market's above 75% occupied, you want to be the last one to book, go high.
Mm-hmm.
But if the market is below 50% occupied, go low and be there first.
Yeah.
And figure out what that is. And that is how you get bookings in these shoulder seasons. So, I mean, already I've got it pulled up over here on my other screen, but already for this property, we are getting bookings for, so it's February right now. We're getting bookings for August already, which is slow. It's back to school time. It's actually one of our slow times, but we went low first. So we're able to book out some August,
Right.
which, we have Labor Day and then everything starts to kind of, everything besides that in August is bad. So,
Right.
right.
Right. So,
Yeah.
Luke, you took this from basically, we'll just say 63 to 114, right, in a
Sure.
year,
Yep.
with very little additional, right? Like it's not like she had to spend another 20K to invest in this property and add all these additional amenities, right? A lot of this was some basics, but not only that, I think through optimizing her listing, through helping with the pricing, which were some of those barriers for her. This increased her occupancy, increased the amount of reviews she was getting, increased her algorithm. So now she's probably higher up in the search results, and ultimately, I think you took her and she got the top 5% badge, right, on Airbnb.
Yeah. So she's top 5% and on page 1 right now.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So tell us about like an additional recent update, right? So you guys are doing even more now.
Yeah. So what triggered this podcast episode? Actually, Tyler and I were just talking about it offline, and we're like, hey, let's hit record and talk about it online. Yesterday we had 2 bookings come in, and so yesterday was February 24th, 2026, and we have already exceeded our total revenue for 2025 in booked revenue, not in realized revenue, but we have more booked for 2026 than we did in total in 2025. And
That's
there is
amazing.
a lot left to go for 2026. So just to put in perspective, we are 77% occupied for June and 65% occupied for July. And last year we got close to 100% occupied for both months. So I think we're going to put several $1,000s on the books just for those peak summer months.
Yeah.
May, we are 74% occupied. There's a little bit more for May. April, 43% occupied. So there's still room to improve here. And we're almost wide open. So we're only 13% occupied for August. And then we've got the rest of the year open after that still. So fall break in October is big.
So you're at like 115, right? Already on the books?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're already basically 12K over last year with a lot of meat left. If you were to, I don't know, I like to play.
Oh, so we're tied for last year, basically. We're
Okay.
2K over last year. Yeah.
Okay. That's
so
still
roughly
huge.
tied. Like we just exceeded last year's revenue.
If you were to guess or provide an estimate, where do you think you guys will end up at the end of year on 30A Seacrest?
I would say conservatively, I don't like to be too much in the predictions business. I like to under promise and over deliver.
I get it.
Yeah, but I mean, I think 125, 130 would be pretty good.
Yeah, I would say that's conservative too. I think I think it's realistic based on where you're at currently.
Right. Yeah. So unless we have a bunch of cancellations and things fall apart or something, we'd have a very hard time not hitting that.
Yeah. So so that just goes to say, in less than 2 years or right around 2 years, you literally doubled or more than doubled what she was making.
Yeah, we almost doubled it in the first year.
Yeah, I mean,
and this year we will, yeah. So this year we will
indeed.
definitely double it. So yeah, that feels good, and it's nice to be able to help somebody like that, right? And
Right.
because she's an amazing host. She's super attentive. She's detail oriented. She is. I mean, a lot of this is her. Like she's doing a great job running this
Yeah,
property, right?
yeah.
She's doing welcome baskets. She's got custom beach towels. She's doing all the things that you would want somebody to do for a luxury property in this market, right? And
Hmm.
she truly loves the property. So, like, I'm super proud of everything she's done. It's amazing.
Right.
But it just goes to show that even a host that has that much attention to detail and that loves the property and is providing a great level of hospitality, sometimes there's gaps where they could bring somebody else in and
Right.
it can take them to a whole nother level, right? And sometimes it's just me having an honest conversation with her saying, get out of your own way. Like,
Yeah.
go spend a little bit of money and throw in a dedicated workspace so you can check the box in Airbnb. She's like, well, I don't think people go there to work. Well, you know, that doesn't mean we shouldn't try and check the box, right?
Right.
Um, so,
Well, that cost is insignificant. I mean, a desk and a
right,
chair is. I mean, where
right,
you're not buying these like standing desks and this extravagant
yeah,
leather
yeah.
chair. It's not you know crazy.
And that's not to say that she's like super stubborn about it or anything. It's just like when you have these conversations,
Right.
you bring in somebody to consult and to manage your revenue, things like that. You need somebody that's going to be honest with you
No.
and try and push you. And that's what we did.
Mhm.
And the results are definitely showing.
It's so fun to hear the success. I think that's what gets me excited as well, right? And why we're doing this co-hosting business together is because we're passionate about being the best that we can on our own properties, but we're even more passionate about like helping others and maximizing their revenue potential.
Yeah, and it's really cool just to see when you have the fundamentals nailed of revenue management. Like there's a lot of stuff where gurus can get into it and get very, very granular about revenue management. But when you are nailing the fundamentals, the process works.
Yeah.
So when you have an annual plan, when you know how to get in front of demand instead of chasing demand, when you know when you want to be price sensitive, when you want to be occupancy sensitive, when you are nailing your listing, it all falls into place pretty easily.
Well, I think this is a quick episode. We just wanted to share an update, and again, I think kudos to you, Luke, and kudos to you said Donna, right?
Donna, yep.
Kudos to Donna as well for being an amazing host and receptive, to listening and taking in some of these recommendations. Because that's again, at the end of the day, even Luke and I, like we could think that we're the cat's meow, but at the end of the day, like if Luke's like, "Hey Tyler, I think you got this opportunity," I'm gonna listen to him, and I think he would do the same for me because sometimes you kind of zone out on your own stuff and you don't think about maybe what others with this education and background can help you with. So be receptive to others' feedback. Some you can take with a grain of salt, but if it's somebody in the industry that's got credibility, I would definitely be listening to what they have to say and take it seriously.
For sure. And I think a lot of times not to prolong a short episode, but I think a lot of times when we love our properties, this is a place that she wants to hold for a long time. And I think she sees herself sort of retiring there or being there a lot in retirement. You
Yeah.
sort of get blinders on about either how great it is or things you could do to improve it, or you start to think of it as yours and not an investment.
Yep.
And you get that homeowner hat on instead of that investor hat on, and sometimes it just takes a little bit of a nudge from somebody else who's truly an
Right.
investor to put the hat back on and
Yep.
maximize your investment at the same time, and they don't
Yeah.
have to be mutually exclusive.
Well, thanks everybody for listening in. Appreciate a like, share, and subscribe. And Luke, tell them about our newest website.
Yeah, the other morning I woke up early. I couldn't sleep, so I went ahead and built out the peakseason.com. So that is ground zero for our podcast. It has links to all the socials, all the places where you can find, download, watch, share, listen, all that. So go ahead and check it out, thepeakseason.com. We'll hope to build it out a little bit more as we go. But take care, everybody, and we will see you on the next one.
Have a good one.